Okay, well 5 years ago when we bought this piece of property, we were able to then connect this gully system that we planted at the top. It's come down, and so we see that that whole system is actually quite fragile, and it's become a place where we've actually planted for the New Zealand Drylands Forest Initiative a eucalyptus trial plot on 4 eucalypts that will grow that will be ground durable, and this is a New Zealand wide trial on the east coast for dry lands, and so it's a perfect site for east coast, we believe.
It looks really green now, but come summertime you get the nor'westerlies just come rushing down here, and that face down is really dry. So if eucalypts grow there, they'll grow anywhere, I reckon.
And it also will eventually provide an income for us. I think we can see we've planted poles on this piece of land and they haven't been that successful. We've got a lot of deaths, and so a treatment of a space planted poplar regime on a paddock like this isn't likely to be as successful as a blanket planting, so that's why we're probably going to look at a mass forestry block.
Although I was dishing willows before, sort of one of the ideas I had earlier on was just to mass plant willows and keep them sort of only about 2 or 3 feet high and feed them to stock. But that sort of entails a lot of work, constant work every year, probably a really good stock food, especially in drought. But I think I prefer to plant bigger trees. So Te Kawawa is 1,400 acres, about 700 acres on each side of that big gorge down there. And during Cyclone Bowler, that gorge was just a mess. It was just falling apart. It was 300 feet on each side, and pretty much straight down, rubble all through. It was just, a real mess. So we got forestry grants to plant that, and that was mostly pines, although we're a couple of the first people that wanted to plant something different. So we planted sequoia, catalpa, Cypress lusitanica, and catalpa are a waste of time. Sequoia not much better, but the lusitanica, they are fantastic. But anyway, mostly pine. And now you walk through and it's paradise. With the river there, with the big trees, trees I can remember planting still remember planting them. Now you walk through and they're just way over my head. Ferns underneath, bird life, deer running through. So it's pretty neat, and beforehand it was produced nothing at all. And if we'd left it, it would be gone. It would be just down in Gisborne Flats now. So definitely worthwhile doing. We'll go down there later on and have a look. These trees here, about 20 years old, they're beautiful trees. Acacia melanoxylon or Tasmanian blackwood. The timber in these, although it's variable, is beautiful, dark and rich. It's really good tree. Friends of ours, they just sold some the other day, $3,000 a cubic metre, so it's worth big money. Quite a bit of work. We've got this down our driveway, so we drive past them most days. So you keep an eye on it. A bit like a vegetable garden, if you have it outside the house, you have to have it in a place where you can actually look after it. But they're beautiful trees. As well as being good timber, they nitrogen fix, they coppice, and so if you've got eroding ground and then the ground moves, all the coppices come away, so they're really good for erosion.
I think that the work involved, I don't know whether it's really viable to have a really big forest of them because of the form pruning. I remember we didn't actually know how to prune them properly, but we guessed it and we got it right by actually walking through them and pruning the tops of them, just making sure there was always a leader, not like a pine tree where you just prune from the bottom up. And that's really paid off for us. And so it's more for us a smaller block, but perfect when you've got a place like this on our drive. We still use it as a stock paddock for when we're shearing and using the yards, but we know that it's growing us a very valuable crop, and they're beautiful to walk through too.
Pretty site specific. If you grow them, make sure they're got sort of plenty of moisture, in the light well. They don't like wind that much, So you have to pick your sites, but that's most trees, or except pine trees. Most trees you have to sort of think about what you're doing. But these are quite special, these trees. This block here, about 30 hectares, we planted this after Cyclone Bowler, so it was a one mass planting. And with all the silviculture, I've done a lot myself, but we've still spent a lot of money. And so it's just, in a lot of ways, it's just been this big black hole we kept on chucking money down. On hindsight, it would be much better if I planted just a piece here and piece there and just done it alternatively or consecutively, and then I could have not spent so much. It would have been much better on the bank and much easier on me. And I think anybody contemplating forestry in the future is just plant a little block, but plant them continuously year after year. And then when the blocks mature, they're looking after the young blocks, the ones you're just planting. The latest thing now with carbon credits, that's going to help a huge amount. We've claimed the credits on these, although we haven't cashed up the money yet. And so with silviculture in future, we've got those carbon credits we can still get the money from to pay for silviculture. So that's going to be really good.